Here we go. This is where we start talking about how to build your gut-friendly meal plan. And as a nutritionist, you probably think that I'm going to start breaking down into every individual ingredient. But let me tell you, building a gut-friendly meal plan is really, really simple if you follow a few key steps. So the first thing is, of course, making sure that it is free of your intolerances, right? So you want to have a look, remind yourself of those foods that you are reactive to. And if you've recently had a test done, then you want to look at what are the substitutes, what are the alternatives for that food. If you've had a test through us, all the substitutes, all the alternatives are listed within that same food group, with the exception of dairy. You know, when we're testing dairy, we've got the different versions of dairy: cow's milk, goat's milk, cheese, different cheeses, and sheep's milk. But then obviously the substitutes, which might be soy or almond, are going to be listed later on. If you've got any questions about any of that, just reach out to me anytime, particularly if you have done testing through us. So yes, we want to make sure that we want to look at the closest substitutes to that food for really easy transitions. The next thing we want to do, though, is we want to make sure that we're incorporating those foods that are actually going to optimize our digestive health. So we want to try and make sure that we're incorporating bitter foods, so things like olives, bitter lettuce, rocket, broccoli, the good quality stuff. Even a really good quality iceberg lettuce that has that nice bitter taste will facilitate better digestion of fats, protein, and heavy fibers. Another thing that's really good for optimizing digestive health is ginger. So please incorporate that all throughout your diet, unless, of course, you're sensitive to it. Other culinary herbs and spices all carry unique benefits as well. So if you are somebody who's sensitive to garlic or onion or ginger, then make sure that you're using some of those other culinary herbs and spices to not only add extra flavor to your meals, but they also offer a host of ingredients and health benefits, particularly in relation to gut health. Now, we also want to make sure that there's prebiotic and probiotic foods in there too. So the prebiotic foods are largely contained within our fruits and veggies, but also our legumes, our whole grains as well. So make sure that you're incorporating those in every meal. Easiest way is just making sure every meal's got some fruits and veggies. And then our probiotic foods. So any that you tolerate, whether this is olives, whether it's yogurt, whether it's kefir, whether it's the kimchi and sauerkraut family. Of course, those who are earlier in the journey who need these foods most are also usually most sensitive to them. So only consume those that you tolerate. And usually if they're new introductions into your diet, it's best to introduce really small amounts. Don't go too heavy on the ferments too early. Like, follow, and share for more like this.